Yeah, we're going on to number 4 here. Well, actually, she probably thinks we're breaking until she returns, so we'll do that. We'll wait for her. Anybody have any public comment on anything on or off the agenda? You do, ma'am? Okay. Why don't you come on up while we're waiting for Councilwoman Espindola to return? Did you happen to call 24 hours in advance?
No, I did.
All right, so technically you got 3 minutes.
I'm going to be quicker than that.
Quicker than that.
My comment might be coming a little before you're addressing item number 9.
You can wait until that item if you'd like, or
Okay.
you can, or we'll do it now.
It's just
If you're going to do it now, though, I would like to wait for Ms. Espindola to return.
okay.
But you can stay there. Just give us, apparently, hopefully not very long.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a 1 or a 2. We'll find out. Come on, it's all good. There we go. Welcome, ma'am.
Lisa Mattson, Yuba City. You are probably going to address this, and I might be asking this earlier, but I would like to comment about the camping and storage of personal property. On Live Oak Boulevard and Northgate, there's been the seeds of an encampment starting with one tent that's been there for a few weeks and now a second tent. And I would like to know if there is a plan, if any, what can we do to prevent that from becoming another Second Street, that mess that was down there and having that explode into another encampment? Is there anything that we can do? Will that be addressed? And I suggested that you are able to. Thank you. And
ma'am, are you Lisa Mattson?
yes.
Okay, and I think you probably have an answer being volunteered by your police chief right behind you.
Beautiful.
So last week, based on the last year's budget, we were able to bring a homeless liaison coordinator on board, and he started about, I think, Monday. He's been hit the road running, very familiar with where you're talking about. I, in fact, drove by there today, and there's one tent up there that's abandoned. So yeah, that's on our list. We don't want to have anything like that flare up, and that would be covered by part of this ordinance, referencing by the place where it's stationed so close to the levee. Absolutely, we're going to take a look at that, and I saw it, so thank you.
Chief Landon?
One question for you.
I just haven't had a chance to get this to you. At our most recent LAFCO meeting, Anita Elphick, Unity Forest Products, had raised an issue at her business. And maybe, at least for the public's knowledge, when you get into these multi-jurisdictional things, I know you guys have cooperative agreements with Sutter County. This happens to be a city and a county area, whatever. Perhaps you could just talk about that in your efforts collectively to combat what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely, Vice Mayor. So obviously we have different jurisdictional areas that have different levels of rural and urban. Yuba City, we've had an ordinance that we've been enforcing regularly. The ordinance that's being proposed for the second reading today is the exact same ordinance, almost verbatim, for the one that Sutter County had put into effect. Sutter County's is now in effect. They have a plan moving forward of, I don't want to get too much into what they're doing, but we are going to work with them hand in hand. We've been working with Sheriff Barnes, Sheriff Anderson, Chief Sachs, and all the other surrounding agencies to make sure that we have the exact same plan. We're working on this as a team, addressing all the areas together collaboratively, and also providing resources for the people so that we're not just going in there and moving them out, but we're giving them a resource and opportunity to go to some other place so they're not just relocating from one area to the other. But as far as multi-jurisdictional, I know that the county right now is starting to address 2nd Street, closer down by Whitaker Hall in that area. And as people are moving out and they're doing some type of a lien process where they're giving in their cars, lien's the wrong word, but they're towing the trailers, the campers out of there and replacing them with concrete blocks. Similarly, that Shanghai Bend area, I know that's very high on the priority list for the sheriff, that entire area, and I know that now they have we are moving forward together.
One more question here, I believe.
Yep. Through the mayor. Chief, that property on Live Oak Boulevard, I'm very familiar with that as well. I pass it almost daily myself. Is there any coordination that we can have between code enforcement? Because not only do we have the tent that popped up here a few weeks ago, but there's been a Dodge Durango on blocks for probably the last month. There's broken down trailers. It's real inviting for a lot of things. Is there any mechanism for you to coordinate, or is that through City Hall to address some of those issues?
Yeah, we have a brand-new department head working with.
So Ben Moody, the new department head overseeing code enforcement. So my first 2 weeks here, that's hit the radar. One of the first items that come up. So code enforcement is definitely aware of that site, and we're working with the city attorney's office on what we could do to strengthen our codes. And then also, we've reached out to the property owner and the leasee to put some pressure on them to pull that trailer off, get rid of that vehicle, and then also work to is a win-win, because we're really pushing. We want to start pushing on them that if they clean it up, it avoids these future problems. And so it's been relayed to the property owner to get rid of that, the brush, the shrubbery, the dumping, to prevent that dumping, and then also that camping behind that block wall. And so we're coordinating with PD and code enforcement, LD1, with it being in that multi-jurisdiction boundary, so we get a plan of attack and work forward.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any general public comment on things not on the agenda?